The procession of Lord Shiva, bedecked as a bridegroom, departed from his abode at Mount Kailasha. Accompanied by the gods, Nagas, musicians, Brahma, Vishnu, Indra, the men of perfection, ghosts, goblins, spirits of all kinds, demigods, the Kinnaras, and beautiful damsels from Indra's court, they made their way towards the city. As they approached the city gates, Parvati's mother Mena, who was in the company of sage Narada, was eager to catch a glimpse of Lord Shiva's form and features. Whenever she saw a lustrous youth of great splendor, she would ask sage Narada if he was Lord Shiva. Narada would tell her that he was not Shiva but a mere Gandharv, Kinnara, fire god, Brahma or any other petty god subservient to Lord Shiva. However, when Mena finally saw Lord Shiva himself, she was stunned, tremulous, agitated, and confused. Lord Shiva was seated on the bull with 5 faces and 3 eyes on each face. He had matted hair with a crescent moon on his head. Mena fell to the ground like a tender creeper blown by the wind upon seeing his appearance. This serves as a reminder to all that Lord Shiva is the supreme being and cannot be compared to any other gods or lesser beings. He commands respect and admiration from all, and his appearance is awe-inspiring and divine. Upon regaining consciousness, Mena was filled with great agitation and rebuked everyone, including her daughter, for their actions. She exclaimed, "Oh, wretched daughter! You have given gold and bought a piece of glass. You have cast away sandalwood paste and smeared your body with mud. Throwing away the sacred water of the Ganges, you have quenched your thirst with the impure water." Despite sage Narada's attempts to console and pacify Mena, she grew furious and lashed out at him, calling him the basest of the base and accusing him of being a cheat and a liar. She claimed that he had urged her daughter to perform penance for such a bridegroom and declared that he would never rest in peace. Many gods tried their best to reason with Mena and bring her around to their way of thinking, but she remained obstinate and declared that Parvati would not be married to Lord Shiva. This caused a great uproar. Even Himalaya, the lord of mountains, tried to persuade his wife Mena, but she remained adamant and threatened to leave her mortal frame if her daughter was given to Shiva with his hideous features. Despite all efforts, Mena refused to give her consent, even when Parvati herself approached her. Brahma also proved to be a miserable failure in his attempts to bring Mena around to their way of thinking. The situation seemed dire, and it appeared as though the marriage between Parvati and Lord Shiva would never come to fruition. Despite all efforts to convince Mena, she remained resolute in her decision to not allow Parvati to marry Lord Shiva. However, Vishnu had one last attempt to sway her. He approached her and spoke to her in a gentle and reassuring voice. He reminded her of Lord Shiva's true nature, telling her that he was the benefactor, the creator, and the annihilator. Vishnu himself and Brahma were both created by him. He spoke of Shiva's unparalleled beauty and how even the greatest sages, saints, and ascetics perform penance for thousands of years just to have a glimpse of him. Upon hearing Vishnu's words, Mena softened her stance slightly. She declared that if Lord Shiva were to assume a lovely form and body, she would consent to her daughter's marriage. Otherwise, not even Vishnu's attempts could change her mind. As fate would have it, Lord Shiva did, in fact, assume a lovely form and body. Mena was filled with awe and wonder upon seeing his divine beauty. She gave her consent, and Parvati was finally able to marry the love of her life. The story of Mena's two-bornness teaches us that sometimes, we need to have faith and trust in things that may not be immediately clear to us. We should not judge others based solely on their outward appearances. Instead, we should look for the goodness and beauty within, just as Mena ultimately did with Lord Shiva.